Right, today we are working on this Argon E117 time trial bike. This is going to be an absolutely epic job. We've got all sorts of weird and wonderful cable routing, and our brief for this is to make it as fast as possible. So gone through a whole process over the last few years of refining bike fit and mobility, and the athlete is really, really powerful. In fact, it's Simon. You'll see him on the channel later. We finally gathered all of the parts and we're ready to start work on this. So here's the job. First of all, we upgraded these to the Watt Shop handlebars, and in sort of routine maintenance, because I wanted to do a bit more cable routing, we discovered a little bit of a fault. So this is like the stem, really intricate designs, and this slides over here. Now what happens is there's a big bolt that comes through the center here to preload it all, and then these two big clamp bolts hold it all together. And what we found was that there's a little snap in the aluminium down here. So the guys at Watt Shop, this is all prototyping, very, very small production runs. They were absolutely fantastic. They sent out another one instantly with some other recommendations to make sure it doesn't happen again. So we're going to be following those instructions to the letter. The reason we did all this is because we want to try and reroute the little SRAM blip box. So this is the blip box, and sadly there's no good way to put it anywhere. So what we're going to do is mount it so it's slightly proud of this, which then means the aero cover isn't going to quite fit. So we need to do some machining to make room for like a little entry point for this blip box. And then we've got this. This is a 60-tooth chainring from a company called Alugear. And this is going to go onto their existing SRAM red cranks, and we're going to be removing the power meter because this isn't going to be compatible with the power meter, and we're going to be switching that out with a new product that we can't tell you about. More on that coming very soon. The BB Infinite bottom bracket that has been in this bike for 3-something-ish years has probably just come to the end of its life, and so we're going to be upgrading that to the new ceramic version. Then, it doesn't end, we've got loads to do. We've got new ceramic speed jockey wheels for this. Now, this was a little bit of a luxury. We took advantage of these being on an incredible deal. Wouldn't normally get overexcited about ceramic speed. Yes, they're very nice, but for the money, can't always justify this. But the cost of these, we're more than happy to give them a go. So that's a little upgrade. And we are flipping out his disc wheel. We're going to upgrade all of those bearings to NTN, these are the low contact seal. Wasn't prepared to go full no contact seals like the ceramic speed. We still feel like we're riding in some pretty poor conditions sometimes. So the low contact seal should give us a lot less rolling resistance. We've already waxed their chains. We're going to need 2 chains to be able to go around that massive 60, so we can't get the normal 120 links. One last thing, check this out. This is the new tri-spoke front wheel as well. Right, a lot to get on with. Let's get cracking. Awesome weekend, back at it on a Monday. Quick halftime update. We have got the bottom bracket in, spinning pretty good, about as good as we're going to get, I think, with that setup. The back wheel I'm so happy with. Look how beautifully that is spinning. That's so nice. And all of this is all together. So what we have to do for the rest of today is we have just taken out a couple of SRAM red chains from the crock pot. They've been chain waxing over the weekend. So we need to have two, because to get around this monstrous chain ring, we're gonna have to put two chains together. That's how ludicrous this whole setup is. Absolutely love it. We've also got to go through this whole handlebar setup. There's a couple of little fine tunes to do. We have some little spaces to fit, and also all of these bolts have very, very particular torque settings and procedures to go through. There's a whole bunch of instructions to follow meticulously to make sure everything's sorted. So let's finish this thing off. So the whole point of this 60 tooth isn't so that we can have a 60-10. The whole point of it is really that we can have a 60, I don't know, 17-18 or something, and have a nice smooth chain line the whole way around. That's the whole point of it really. We're not expecting to run that sort of a massive gear. And I have to say that right now that is running very, very smooth. There's still a little bit of friction because there's like new wax in the chain and stuff that'll come off in the first like kilometre or so, but so far I think he'll be very, very happy with that. Look at this, what an absolute weapon. I can't wait to hand this over to Simon and see what we can do with it. Now, time trial bikes, when you come to setting up time trial, there are so many twists and turns to be aware of. And I guess one of the questions you're probably asking yourself right now, like how much did this cost? Was it worth it? Let me tell you that Simon is so committed to his training as a cycling coach. He trains in here with Vic in the gym to build his strength. He's pretty much done everything he possibly can to get his health and fitness absolutely top. And now it's a time to really turn his attention to his bike. And over the years, he's been changing things, adapting things. It's one of those sports that just kind of escalates and you learn things and you change things. And this is sort of the culmination, I guess. It's perfect sort of mix of technology and the human body. Now, when we come to do time trial bikes, the one thing that's really, really important for me as a mechanic is just how rigid and stable this whole cockpit is. And this can be a real challenge, especially with this new high Prey Mantis position where your hands are really up high, because trying to get these wedges can actually be really, really challenging. In fact, there's quite a long story with this as well. Simon first went to a bike fit and experimented with this position. It's a complete disaster. They completely snapped off. It was almost a really horrific accident. After that, he came into us from that bike fit and was like, I like the position, but can you make it more rigid? And we found a whole host of weird and wonderful engineering companies making little things for time trialists. And just recently we've changed this entire watch shop setup, and the quality of this watch shop setup is fantastic. You'd hope so for the price. I think this is Grant Bigham's company. It's absolutely beautiful, and the support they give you is fantastic as well. It's a bit of a shame that they never thought about how they're going to integrate a SRAM blip box, because they definitely made these little prongs here so you can actually use those SRAM wired blips. What I really like about this watch shop setup is actually how rigid it is. When you're coming down on the drops and you're really focused, this is stiff, and that's so important, because sometimes in a time trial you're probably going into the corner a little bit too fast and you're torn between, do I stay committed to the extensions or do I try and come down onto the bars? And sometimes you just got to ride it out, and having a really good rigid setup really gives you the confident handling that you need to take little twists and turns at speed or a bumpy road or whatever. So I feel really, really happy with this. This feels completely solid to me. The new wheel here, this has come from Simon's research, thinking this is going to be the fastest front wheel. We'll see how that works out. I think it looks absolutely amazing, even if it doesn't match the real one. The Michelin Power Time Trials is pretty much on record as being the fastest tyre out there at the moment, and these are fitted up with the Tubolito TPU tubes to make them really nice and light and supple at the same time. The whole sort of bike fit has just been evolving as we go. We went for the Pro Logo saddle fairly recently as well. This has kind of got this little grip tape on the top. It's like a sort of a soft grip tape, so you can really get right on the nose of the saddle and get that power directly over the pedals. And of course, we've gone for this monstrous 60 tooth chain rings. It looks lethal, to be honest. It's all about finding that drivetrain efficiency up here in the higher sprockets. And of course, Zip Super 9 disc wheel, which I had for a long time. So there we go, the time trial. It's a complete combination of mind, body and bike. And I really wish Simon has a fantastic season on this. The bike is ready to go. I hope he is too.